呈现，拥抱着冬眼泪，年年日光在呈现。
Hello and welcome to a very belated review of the December issue of Miniature Wargames. Sorry it's been so late. I'm putting it in for the sake of completeness. I realise it's a bit late in the day. As you know, I mislaid my issue for a while, then it was Christmas, New Year, all that kind of stuff. So beginning of January, here we go. I don't want to put it in because it is actually a very good issue. So fair's fair, let's get that in. Okay, so here's the introduction from Mr. Treadaway, talking about wars and that kind of stuff. A bit philosophical. And I'm straight to the reviews. And this looks interesting. For starters, here's some To the Strongest cavalry. And why they're particularly To the Strongest, I mean basically it's some Macedonian plastic cavalry, which is looking good. From our friends at Victrix. And then some 1/100th trenches. These are an interesting set. Can I get that on camera? Looking at different mats to play in your games, overviews, photographs, that kind of thing. I want to do a video on this because I think it's quite an interesting discussion. I think maybe for a flying game, something like that probably looks pretty good. Oops, sorry. Something like that looks pretty good, you see. I was a bit strange to me when you play with figures. And sometimes in Wargaming I think less is more. It's a bit like theatre. You know, some sort of blurry backdrop lets you suspend the disbelief. If it's photographic, especially if it includes trees, a lot of battle mats I see of trees. You see armies marching around on top of the trees. It's a little bit strange to me. There you go, each their own. For a board game maybe, with the markers are flat. Because figures stand up, the kind of the mat needs to stand up. That's why we build terrain and scenery and things like that. Anyway, very good article from the editor there, Mr. Treadaway, about different scales of figures and types of plastics that are used and put them together. Very good. Similar, more on that again. Buying particular one-off figures. I thought that was quite good. Or I should mention who they are. Hang on. Rubicon, that's it. This would be an interesting drop the microphone. I hope that's not a problem. It's freezing outside, that's why I come inside to do this. Right, this looks good. If you're into Black Powder Napoleonics, there's the Russian campaign. And some dates for diaries. Let's have a look. What's the next one? Most of these are already gone. They go back to begin December. 27th of January, Crusade down in Penarth. My home show there. And then we got 11th of February up in Nottingham, the Robin. This looks good. Big shop. So we are. I always encourage that. Battlefieldhobbies.co.uk. Right, this. And there's the best writer, obviously. Conrad. This very interesting article. It's almost like flagging the competition. It's various YouTube channels. Hey, imagine that you can go there. Didn't expect to see mine, and it's not. But I did find some very good ones by reading this article. One in which he mentioned is Generals. Oh, what's it called? Oh, hang on a second. I watch them a lot. Anyway, there's a whole list here of YouTube channels with battles reports. Very good about history, learning. Browse YouTube and find out more. So I'm obviously going to be in favour of that. I think I'm missing a page here, but this is the next part. It's a continuation of this. Oh no, here it is. Reinventing an old friend. A little bit indulgent in my view. I think it's fourth part. Yeah, part 4. Each one quite a few pages. Pushing a 1980s style rule set. I like old rule sets. And I'm sure if you're into this, if you collect all 4 issues, you have a complete set of rules. Seems to work okay. There we go. More advertising there. Funky stuff. This is very interesting. The sort of a theme, if you like. There's a bit of a theme. Warsaw 1944, Scratch Build and Scenario Special. So there you go. We're heading away. Some of the other magazines, perhaps, going more themed. And let's have to build up these the scenery for these sort of blown up buildings and interiors and stuff. A grim subject, but very well explained. Very useful for scratch building, a little bit of scratch building, and there's lots of it. Decorations, furniture, blown up buildings, interiors, all good stuff. Got more adverts. And then what I thought would be a rather gruesome game, which is Street Fighting Man, it's called, which is the close quarters, sneaking up on each other, room to room fighting, that kind of stuff. Not a very pleasant subject. Uh-oh, my children are coming in, about to destruct everything. Ties in very well with the scenery building article. It's all about chucking petrol bombs, sneaking up, secret moves, hidden moves. The game itself looks a little bit complicated, but some interesting little concepts and some ideas for hidden movement, that kind of thing. And it is very much a full game. So, there you go. If you want to give that a try, it's a skirmish level. Very good. So, some fantasy facts. Dark Horizons. Oh, hang on, more advertising there. Have a quick look at those. Give them a plug. Their revenue all feeds through the hobby. Some figures here from Lucid Eye. Some random fantasy type figures. And then stuck away then a card set to go with Ghost Archipelago. I know this is very popular, not something I've tried. If you're not aware, it's the kind of Frostgrave spin-off, if I'm not being too ungenerous. The Woods, which you might have noticed I did a little bit of a small piece on, as I also saw them at the Reading show. Interesting game, very fluffy, Celtic style mythos, where the emphasis is less on combat and more on spiritual and storytelling and that kind of stuff. I've actually got some fantasy figures. Ta-da! I think they're Cthulhu type things, 15mm. They look rather cool. And unfortunately, I'm missing a page or two here, but this is about Gaslands, which I think looks cracking and well worth reading about. Yeah, some really good pictures. I've spoken before about this game. It does look very interesting. And something I think we're going to be trying soon. So there you go, more about that. And then this Miniature Wargames advert for the same price as an expensive pint, it should put in brackets. I did check again, in Firestore a pint's about $2.50, this is $3.50, but hey, who's counting? This great article here, very useful. How he built a whole army, 100 of these fenris, he's called them, basically robots, scratch built by Jeremy Claridge. How he built them, like spare parts and bits of mostly electrical components. It's all things you get from RS or Tandy. They look cracking. And he's building each one for pennies, really. I think the bases cost more than the figures. And it's won an award at some of the shows. There's my old favourites. When I was a bit easier to travel for my children, got a bit older. Derby Worlds. Fantastic show. I love it in its venue in that great big at the racetrack. But I hear it's moving again for this year. So another new venue, which I was ashamed. I like that one. Anyways, the editor's trip. There's a good job covering that. Good photography as always. Okay. Lots of coverage. And if you're not aware, Derby Worlds is the big pull, especially for me, I know, was that's where you go for all the big tournaments. I used to do the Impetus tournament every year. There's loads of game systems. So the whole of one end of this like aircraft hangar type thing, I think it literally is an aircraft hangar, or used to be, it's full of tournament games going on, and then you've got all the traders and demo games going on, all under one roof. It's a bit echoey, and you can hear there's no race cars there, Silverstone. Not Silverstone. Anyway, the local racetrack. But I think it all adds to the atmosphere. I really liked it. Not really sure why they're moving or anything. Anyway, Recce. Here we go. A bit of my bugbears. These wargaming books. Most of them aren't wargaming books. And here we are once again. Another one about Eastern Front. And that gets the Miniature Wargames Medal of Honor. It's a history book. Nothing wrong with history books. I'll read plenty, but big chunk of the magazine's taken up with these. I mean, they are combat folk, I suppose. There you go. Anyway, there's this one's more. It's in Boer guerrillas against British mounted soldiers, South Africa. I guess that's more directly helpful for wargamers. But there are lots of wargaming books out there all the time, so I don't know how it works, which goes where. Now this, Peter Dennis, I love these. These are the cutouts, the flat games. I've got a couple here. I think they're great fun. Good fun to cut out if you've got children as well. Make your armies. You get a basic set of rules, which are fine. But I think it's the fun of the figures more than anything. He's a great artist. I'll just zoom in so you get a little bit of an idea of what the figures look like. Great idea. And you know his artwork. It's all over rule sets, magazines, that kind of thing. More books. I mean, Revolution Politics during the French Revolution. I mean, sounds a great book. It's not really a wargaming book, is it? Come on, fair's fair. War by numbers. Now this, Understanding Conventional Combat. Fascinating foray into the world of military predictions by utilising data from past battles. Now this is proper hardcore wargaming. Actually kind of professional wargaming. It's more relevant than the history books. Merry Christmas. Sorry, a bit late for all these. There we go, some Christmas adverts. Terror Block Shopping Mall and Infinity pushing airbrushes. And Diane, who's always very charming and amusing. I don't know how she keeps coming up with all these ideas for making things. But there's a bridge. Looks pretty good with beautiful hands. Step-by-step guide. The usual humour and entertaining writing style. Right, down at the palace. This is nearer to home. Well, it used to be nearer to home for me as well, because this is the palace being Crystal Palace, of course. South London, South East London Warlord show. I know John's gone there for donkey's years. And there's a full report on that one. Because from where I am now, it's quite difficult to get to for me. I went there a few years ago, and getting back through London later on Sunday evening was really difficult. So I really miss this show. I think it's fantastic, and it's a very interesting report. Maybe a little bit too much general chat, rather than sticking to the show, but there you go. It's a kind of chatty piece, and here's some more advertising to go with it. Great pictures from Selwig. There's even a couple of people I recognise on some of these shows there. Mr. Merrick, part of the old South London Warlords crew, my old crew. And there we have it. More pictures from the show. Advert for Crusade. So please come along to that. And here we go. Trees museums. Oh, look at that. Lovely advert for a figure painting company in the back. Along with usual small ads. So there we go. Very good issue. What we're looking at, 60 odd pages, I think it was. 78 or 80 pages. A few good articles to read. I enjoyed reading it. I'm going to give this all the way up to, I think, 7.5 this month. Offers better, cover different periods. And there we are. Just a quick coverage. And hopefully I'll be back in the swing of things now, and we'll be catching up. And the videos will come out as the magazines come out without this lag. So wishing you all a very happy new year, and I hope you had a good Christmas. Bye for now.
我们要互相亏欠。